All right, what's going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I know definitely been a little bit of volatility today, but other than that, not a whole hell of a lot going on. As you can see by the title, Bitcoin has just been super weak lately. But regardless of that, we ourselves are getting stronger. And I'll tell you why. So first off, anybody who has been sticking it out in the market lately, whether you're trying to trade or you're just learning or watching or sitting back in the bleachers, whatever it might be, this is the time to really learn, to practice, to get better. So if you've been God bless you if you've been struggling it out doing the trading. Like, I have a little bit here and there, but I mean, even just this last week has been kind of ridiculous, honestly, and I haven't even, like, every time I look at it, I'm like, meh. And you can kind of see just looking here, I mean, it's only the 12-minute chart, but just over the last few days, I mean, like, aside from just these slow creeping up trends right here, which is like 1.5% if you were to hit it perfect. This one, even less, maybe 1%. Then you had this crazy volatility going on today around this time of the Fed meeting, which, yeah, you probably could have guessed how that one was going to go, but still, that was really like the only thing remotely happening lately, and it's still only like 3%. So there hasn't been much going on there. I did see that Litecoin had a nice day. I honestly was not even thinking about looking over here. Kind of wish I was, because it's funny, because Litecoin's been one of my older positions. So I mean, I got it a little further up the list here, but I didn't even notice until I got like a notification on my phone saying that Litecoin was up like 8% or something. I'm like, oh damn, that's what's up. All right. But prior to that, same thing, super weak, super weak. So let's just jump up here on the daily. There's almost no point in looking at anything, just lately short term. Even in this example, like, how long has this been? This is just crazy long. 140 days of damn near nothing. Bitcoin, hold on, we even got to hide all this stuff just to see it. Now, granted, yeah, I mean, you stretch it out, you get a little bit going on, but, the biggest trend here, 40%. And again, you can see the comparison to, previously when we had more volume, more people going in on it, more people trading. I mean, that little 40% is nothing, and part of that is just because the price is so much lower. So, for the last 2 months, kind of a whole lot of nothing. So again, it's a good time to start learning, whether you're using Market Cipher or you're using other indicators. Start testing strategies. Start paper trading if it's a good safe way to do it, especially right now. Obviously you're not gonna make as much as if you were hitting these swings over here, but it's a good time to start learning. And as particularly if you what they say, like, sweat in training so you don't bleed in combat. Well, in this case, the more you sweat in an effed up market like we have right now, when things do get back to being better and there are more people trading and you're getting bigger swings, bigger percentages, more volume, you will be infinitely better positioned to make money then. Just flat out, like you're over here, trading with a weight vest on when you run, making it harder on yourself. And the more you get better at it while it's harder, when it gets easier, you'll be a happy camper. So I guess that's pretty much, the Bitcoin being weak part right there. It takes no more example than looking at this chart right here. It really doesn't. I don't even want to bring up any of the rainbow charts or anything. It hasn't changed terribly much since the last time I brought it up. If you haven't seen it, you could go back to some previous videos, or even just the video that we have about the Bitcoin logarithmic regression chart or the rainbow charts. And there's a bunch of stuff in that video, and you can go look it up for yourself. But yeah, I mean, when we're just flatlining to the side, it's generally in the same spot that it was before, at the lower end of the logarithmic regression bands. Let's flip through a little bit. I mean, I see we do got some things at least making some little moves. Let's go down to the hourly here. Kind of stretch it out. Looks like we V'd right back up on Ethereum Classic. Let's see, Ripple. I saw BitBoy talking about Ripple a lot lately. Honestly, I don't see a whole hell of a lot to back that up. I mean, granted, we've had, you know, bigger swings on this little uptrend right here, but meh. You know, looking down here at the market cipher, super sketchy. See how it keeps flipping back and forth on the money flow, and that's on the 1 hour. Just coming off a heavier red money flow wave. You know, RSI almost acting like it wants to trend up. But and just more sketchiness, to be honest. Let's see, Cardano. I've been seeing BitBoy had was it the interview with Charlie talking about Cardano, and honestly, as far as a long-term project, I feel it. I get, you know, I like his approach to the project. I like that they cared more about getting it right, regardless of the fact that it was going to take longer, rather than trying to get the hype up front. And it gives them potential. Whether they, I don't know, put that potential to fruition, I guess we'll all find out. But, you know, solid layer one. Solana, I've been seeing a lot of hate on Solana lately, and I haven't looked into it enough to say 100% whether or not I'm on board with that, but from the little bit that I have gathered, yeah, Solana's kind of bumped down a peg on my list. VeChain, look at VeChain. Just kind of popping up a little better than everybody else. You know, when we start getting more volume, VeChain's a fun one to trade there. So is Phantom here. Phantom fairly similar, low in the red. Let's see, maybe coming back up a little bit. We do have some bullish divergence that kind of foretold this little pump right here. Well, something to that. Looks like, honestly, I didn't even look on the other ones. Does everybody have that? Bitcoin doesn't have it. Looks like some of these altcoins had some bullish divergence going on. Yeah, Harmony, a little 5%er right there. Even like a leading up trending bullish divergence. Even the money flow is starting to come up. RSIs are getting pretty high though for where it's at. We'll see what happens there. I don't know, it kind of depends how tomorrow goes, but those RSIs did come up pretty quick. What's up, Matic? Holy shnikes. A little 15%er. Honestly, 15%, and it still looks like it's going to keep going for a little bit. Who knows by the time you guys see this video, but what are we at? 96 cents, so we'll see what happens there. Looks like Graph doing the same. 9%. Potentially pulling back a tad. Still a little early to see. If we flip to regular candles, it's just shy of the last candle, but again, this is on the 1 hour. Might be running out of steam, but man, the RSI is coming together, pointed up. It is getting a little close to the top, but it could do it. It could do it if it wanted to. We got Filecoin. I can't see that. Like a 13%. All right. Look at that. RSI is looking even better. Money flow actually in the green. Interesting. But yeah, so that's going on with that's what's going on with all that. Look at silver, yeah, poking its way back up above 19. Oh, I didn't even notice that. S&P ending on a big old red candle. I know a lot of people were bearish on the Fed meeting right there, which let's be honest, I mean anybody with common sense would have been. I would not be the slightest bit surprised if there was a buttload of shorts going on right before that, but everybody putting them in this morning. But yeah, so the other parts of our little title, Bitcoin week, we're getting stronger. I talked about, you know, not only taking this time to get better at trading, to learn the market, to learn the indicators, to learn the tools, learn the exchange, all that stuff. Now's the time to do it. You know, the stakes are a little bit lower. So, you know, you stand to lose a little less. Not even necessarily gain a whole hell of a lot more, but as far as the skills go, you definitely stand to gain in that one. And just to come back to what I was kind of harping on in the last couple videos here, and I'll probably be bringing this up more because it's kind of a big aspect in what I'm doing for myself lately, and that is just trying to better myself. And I mean, I've always talked about it on this channel, but I'll probably make more videos about it, whether it be from, you know, the psychological aspect like we talked about in the last psychology video, or in the physical aspect like I've really been going hard on working out lately. Just about every single day I went, what's today, Wednesday, I went super hard on Sunday and Monday to the point where like, no, Sunday and Monday and Tuesday was still sore from it. Came back, started doing a little bit more today, noticed that like I literally couldn't do any ab stuff. I could do a little bit of core stuff and could still do arms, still do legs and all that kind of thing, but I was kind of trying to give the legs a break today, even though I'd been running around most of the day at work even and climbing up and down machines. But but at this point it's like I'm getting to the point where it's becoming a habit and it feels awkward if I don't do anything. And then add to that, for the last 4 days straight, like just walking the dog, we have not been out for less than an hour every single time, like just going and walking around campus. And like I said in the video before about it becoming better socially, learning to talk to people, just random strangers and just people around you, whether it be neighbors, family, this and that. I got to get better at the family thing. If anybody's watching, I apologize, but I'm working on it. Mom, I hit you up today. You didn't answer. Call me back. But I don't know. She said she watched that last one. I'm like, oh shit, I probably said some stuff in there I probably shouldn't have. But if you happen to catch this one, call me back. But I have had some actual legitimately interesting conversations with just random people. Like there's one girl that was working on like an art project where she was drawing this building, and had a couple interesting conversations with her like a couple days in a row. And then another dude that was over here trying to draw the fountains and stuff, and I wasn't even planning on it. It was just kind of random, but I'm starting to get in the habit of just saying it to everybody. And today was actually a higher percentage of people who didn't say even like hello back. I think there was maybe like 4 or 5 people that just kind of acted like they didn't hear me, which I did good. Only one of them did I have a smart ass comment, but I forget, that one was particular. Like they made eye contact with me and still didn't answer, and I'm like, damn, why is everybody fucking weird about not talking to people? But part of my language. But it's kind of maybe a little loud enough for them to hear. But yeah, the dude at the fountain, so the dog comes over, and anytime somebody's sitting down and she's like within 5-6 feet of them as we're walking, she'll try to go up to them because it's like, oh hey, you're sitting, you're lower, you're kind of closer to my level type thing. And she goes up to dude, and dude's sitting there drawing him, like she's like a foot away before this dude notices. And so he kind of looks and like, whoa, he kind of like jumps and goes to like, you know, pull his leg back a little bit. And I'm like, oh, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. I'm like, trust me, she's friendly. Like, you don't even got to worry about it. And like, at most, she will say hi for like 2-3 seconds, and then she's going to ignore you and walk away. Like, unless I tell her to say hi. And So he's like, oh, okay. And like, I'm expecting him to still be kind of like, you know, just, I don't know, a little scaredy, because I don't know, some people are, and I get it. She's a decent sized brindle dog that's pit mix. So, you know, some people are, you know, they're just not good with dogs to begin with, and she's probably a little bit more on the scarier side. But, but like after I said that, they're just like, oh, okay. And like, and she already started walking away from him. And he was just like, he's like, he was saying hi to her, and so I was like, all right, here's an opportunity to maybe help him a little bit, maybe if he's kind of on the fence about dogs, to like. So I was like, hey, go say hi real quick. So she turned around and he actually pet her for a second, and I was like, oh, what are you working on? And I saw where he was kind of drawing the fountains and stuff, and yeah, I should say, quit, you know, don't quit your day job. It wasn't the greatest, but at the same time, you know, even if it was just hobby or something like that, hey, props for being outside. I appreciate the fact that you're drawing a water feature. I like being around water. That's why I walk by the friggin' water fountains. But yeah, so that was kind of cool, and I ended up talking to him for a hot second. Then like every single time we go out, yeah, pretty much every single time, there's always at least one girl who is, you know, a total dog person who, oh, she's so cute, and you know, it bends down to pet her and stuff, and I usually end up just chit-chatting at least for like a few sentences back and forth. But I ended up having this was the last one I'll talk about, and I'll quit rambling. But the last one, I'm coming over, and there's an area like right off the edge of campus where there's like a bunch of bars and pizza places and restaurants and apartment buildings and stuff like that. And so I'm just circling around in front of there. I'm like across the street from the little strip of bars, and keep in mind, this is like 6 p.m. So it's you know, not nightlife time, but there's a lot of people around. And so I'm walking by, and I see there's this girl walking this little puppy, and I seen her coming down the sidewalk. So like I paused, because I'm figuring I'm gonna cross the street, but I kind of paused like a couple steps back so that the puppy can go in front, because she seemed like she was like kind of trying to, you know, keep him away from my dog a little bit. And a lot of people kind of do that because, I don't know, they just, you know, they don't want to go through the aggravation of having the dogs either start like growling or fighting at each other or trying to pull like crazy to go play. So like a lot of people just try to go the other way a little bit. And so she's coming around and like getting ready to like cross in front of us. And I'm like, damn. And she actually goes and like picks him up so she doesn't have to deal with the puppy like jumping all over trying to pull to get over to my dog. And she picks him up, and I'm like, I get a good look at him. I'm like, what breed is that dog? And it was a husky pit bull mix, and I would say it was probably like 60 husky 40 pit, and it had like the patterns of a husky, but it was more like golds and browns from the pit, and had the super light like sky blue eyes, like almost going on white. I mean, they were so bright, and I'm just like, holy cow. I'm like, that is one good looking puppy right there. I'm like, straight up. I'm like, that's gonna be a really good looking dog. And so she ends up setting him down, and you know, the puppy's trying to climb all over my dog. My dog doesn't care. She's used to puppies and kittens and animals and stuff at this point, where she'll let them sit there climbing all over her face and barely even look at them. And so they're sitting there, and I'm talking to the girl, and like originally her face, she kind of had like the RBF face going on a little bit, like just didn't want to deal with anybody, anything. But like as soon as I started like talking to her, and we were like talking about the dogs, and like she asked what breed mine was, and I told her how it was a Irish Wolfhound pit mix, and it's, you know, all brindled, little tiger stripe, decent little contrasts. And she was like, oh, I'm just afraid that he's gonna, you know, get big. And I'm like, I mean, he's definitely not gonna get bigger than her. Like if anything, like I've known a bunch of huskies and been around who knows how many pits at this point. I'm like, he's definitely not getting bigger than her. If anything, like he might be the same height, but probably not going to be as long, because the Wolfhound, for whatever reason, made her a little bit longer. You can kind of see the hound a little bit in there, but and it was one of those situations where like I really did not expect to have any conversation whatsoever, but it actually ended up being like a really nice conversation. And like looking back at it, like after the fact, I'll kind of keep it 100 with you guys. Like, I don't know, I might ask her out like the next time I run into her, because she actually ended up being pretty cool and pretty nice. And I'm not gonna lie, I really liked I really liked her dog. I mean, like the whole husky pit mix, like I even looked up pictures of what they looked like months ago, just out of curiosity, because I thought that would be a really awesome mix. And like I was even asking, I'm like, does he bark a lot? Like, is he vocal? And she's like, oh my god, yes, like he will bark, he will like whine, he'll do this little talking thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're in for it. I'm like, that's the husky right there. Like, yeah, he's probably going to be a talker, that's for sure. But so again, it just goes to talk about like what I was saying in the last video, that you know, just nut up, just talk to people. Just, you never know. You really never know. Like, you know, if you got a wife or a girlfriend, you know, just be careful talking to other women, especially if they get jealous or something like that. But you know, just keep it. It doesn't have to be anything more than friendly. And if anything, even if you don't have a wife or a girlfriend, just keep it friendly to begin with anyways. Like if you're going into a potential encounter or conversation thinking about like, damn, I wonder if I can get her number or get a date, or like I want her to be my girlfriend and you don't even know her yet, like slow down. Just be people. Just be people encountering each other in the world. And at that point, see where it goes. You know, maybe they don't have an interesting word to come out of their mouth. Maybe they're super cool. Maybe you got things in common, or maybe they just suck at conversations. Seen it all. And just don't go into it with this great expectations or your hopes or anything like that. Just treat every situation the same, whether it's a guy, girl. You know, if it's a girl, you know, maybe you know, watch your intonation and the way you talk, and you know, be a little eloquent, but at the same time, hey, nothing wrong with being flirty. Just be easy, don't be creepy. And I know nowadays everything sounds, you know, everybody thinks that this seems creepy, or everybody's afraid to seem creepy. And honestly, at this point, I think it's starting to get to the point where I know a lot of women are like, why the hell do you guys not come up to me anymore? Like, you know, why does nobody just come up and say, hey, how are you doing? What are you up to? Would you like to go somewhere? Like something like that. Now the next one, I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but I don't know. Let me know if you like it. I was talking about this at work today. So you hear a lot, especially from like dating coaches and stuff online and like other things, where they say, you know, stop asking women questions. And I'm like, okay, you know, I get the point of that, because you want to be a little assertive. You want to be the man. You want to, like, rather than saying, hey, would you like to go out to dinner with me, be like, you know, I was thinking of going to this place, you should come with me. You notice what I did there? Like, the question is behind the scenes, but you never actually asked. You're not asking for her to do something. You're not asking for permission. You're not asking if she would like to. You're saying, I'm doing this, you should too. So keep that in mind for all my single guys out there. So like I said in the last one, gamify it. Just gamify everything. Make a little game out of it. How many people end up being cool conversations? How many people just act like they didn't hear you? How many times can you try to ask somebody out without actually asking a question? Let me know in the comments if you guys have done this before. What are your thoughts on it? And consider that your homework if you want to keep doing it. So let me know how it works out. I'm really curious to hear it, especially just talking to random people thing. Give me some feedback. Don't be shy. Don't be a bum. Your keyboard on your phone works. I know it does. So send me a message in the comments. I'm curious to hear where everybody's at. Or, you know, if you already got a girlfriend or a wife or something, you know, try it out on them. For real. You never know. Just that little change up. She might be like, oh, like, yeah, when did he put his big boy pants on? Like, all right. I mean, God forbid, if you're married or you have a girlfriend, especially a long-term girlfriend, you should know by now never to ask, where do you want to go to eat? If you haven't learned that yet, Smack yourself upside the head for me. Never ask that. I don't know. What do you want? I don't know if I'm hungry. Like, I don't know where I want to go. Just pick a place out in your head. Be like, hey, I'm going here. You hungry? Or, you know what? I'm stopping at Arby's on the way home from work. Do you want anything? Yeah. If they start hemming and hawing, you know what they like. Just grab something, because if they're like, nah, I'm not really hungry, and you get home, next thing you know, they're picking your curly fries. Asking for half your sandwich. Nope. Grab them a junior roast beef. But, alright. I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully something goes on here on the charts tomorrow. You know, oh, we're getting a little green candle right now. What do we got here? Look at this giant split on the RSIs, though. Money flow is coming up a little bit. You know, RSI could come up to meet the purple one. What is it, 11:20? I'm not going to be hanging around to find out. I'm going to go... Actually, I got to go take the dog out again, but... Let me know what's going on with you guys. If you had any good trades, if you want to keep videos going like this, if you like the personal side, the self-improvement side of things, let me know if you want more of that. If you want me to shut my mouth and just keep it to the crypto and the charts, let me know. If that's the case, maybe I'll just keep them separate and we'll do separate videos and you can only watch what you want to watch. But then you wouldn't learn nothing, so you're welcome. Alright, remember, keep being a badass. Keep talking to people. And remember, we're bringing back real men, so act like one. Stay with the movement. All right. Later.